Hello, everyone. I'm Srishti, and welcome to Healthy Mind, Healthy Body, a podcast where we make health simple, practical, and easy to understand. Let me start with a question. How many of you have ever heard, I know what I should do, but somehow I just can't follow it consistently? Maybe you want to lose weight, you want to control your sugar, you want to exercise, you want to sleep on time, you want to reduce stress, but somehow life gets in the way. And before you know it, you are back to the same old habits. Today, we are going to talk about something very interesting. We often look at health from the outside. What are we eating? How much are we exercising? What medicines are we taking? But what about what's happening inside our mind? Could be stress, emotions, sleep, habits, and our relationship with food that could be affecting our physical health. And most importantly, could the reason you are struggling with your health be more than just food? To help us understand this, we have two wonderful experts with us today. We have Harvinder Kaur, a psychologist, counselor, and a psychotherapist who work with emotional challenges, stress, anxiety, emotional eating, and unhealthy behavior patterns. Welcome, Harvinder.
Thank you so much, Srishti. I'm really happy to be here.
And joining us is Avinash Sharma, health coach, dietitian, lifestyle wellness expert who works with nutrition, lifestyle modifications, and sustainable health habits. Welcome, Avinash.
Thank you, Shruti. And I'm excited to be here and I'm looking forward to having a very practical conversation today.
Wonderful. And today's conversation is especially very important because both of you are also a part of Mystic Holistic Wellness, where you look at health from both the sides, the mind and the body. So let's understand what that actually means. So I have first question for you guys. Why are lifestyle health problems increasing so rapidly? If we look today around, almost every family has someone dealing with lifestyle health problems like weight gain, diabetes, thyroid issues, high blood pressures, fatty livers, or digestive problems. It has become so common that many people think that it's just a part of our normal lives. But why do you think these patterns, health problems, are increasing so rapidly? It's only because of what we eat, or is there something more to it? Avinash, let's start with you.
That's a very important question. These problems usually don't happen over the night. They often develop over the time. And just because of the combination of the like our food choice, physical activity, stress, environments, genetics, and the daily habits. We sit for the long hours, spend most of the time on the screens, rely on the packaged foods, eat at the irregular times, and often sleep late. Physical activity has also reduced for many people. So the biggest problem is that we are constantly busy taking care of our family, our responsibility, but we do not have the sufficient time for the taking care of ourselves.
Really? So you're saying it's not necessarily one big unhealthy decision, but many small habits that slowly add up.
Exactly.
That actually makes a lot of sense. I think many people will relate to this because we often say, I'm eating healthy, but we don't look at the rest of our days. Harvinder, where does the mind come into this?
Srishti, mind plays a very important role because behind many of our daily habits, there are emotions. We often know what we should do, but knowing and doing are not always the same. So you may know you need to exercise, but when you see after a long, exhausting day, you simply don't have the mental energy. Maybe you know that you should avoid unhealthy food, but that's evening snack, which becomes your way of coping with stress. So you may want to sleep early, but your mind keeps running through tomorrow's worries, and it's general. And sometimes we carry years of emotional stress without even realizing how deeply it is affecting us. Sometimes when I ask people, so do you have stress? So they even don't know that they have stress because this is the way of living with stress. So work pressure, financial worries, relationship problems, family responsibilities, sometimes loneliness, anxiety, overthinking, all these affect our behavior. So when stress continues for a long time, it can also affect things like sleep, appetite, our energy level, and how the body responds to stress hormones. So health is not just about the body, it's about understanding the whole person. When we say understanding the whole person means mind, body, emotions, and lifestyle. So it's about understanding each and everything, how life is going, what type of stress it is, how body is responding, how our mind is responding.
That's interesting. And I think that is where the philosophy of mystic holistic wellness comes in, right? So instead of asking only what is wrong with my body, you also ask what's happening in my lifestyle, what's really happening emotionally, and what is making it difficult for me to change. Can
Yes,
you
yes,
give
that's
us
correct.
a simple everyday example?
Yeah, sure. We can take simple examples. Say someone may come home after a very stressful day. They know they should go for walk, evening walk, or maybe they should relax for some time. But it's all mental exhaustion happen, and instead they sit on the sofa, order their favorite food they prefer, and spend an hour scrolling on their phone, right? Because that energy level goes down by end of the day. So behavior may look unhealthy from the outside, but underneath it could be stress, maybe emotional exhaustion, or need for comfort.
I think many people listening will be thinking, oh, wait, could this be happening to me? So, audience, pause for a moment and think about your own routine. Is there one habit you know isn't good for you, but you continue doing it anyway? Maybe late night snacking, too much screen time, skipping meals, not exercising, or constantly worrying. Keep that habit in your mind because we are going to come back to it later. Now, guys, I have question number two for you. It's I don't eat that much, then why am I gaining weight? Now, let's talk about something I think almost everyone has heard. I don't even eat that much, but I'm still gaining weight. And then we look at ourselves or someone else and thinks, oh, they are eating everything, but they are not gaining weight. So it's why me. Avinash, what's actually happening? Is weight gain simply about eating too much?
Not necessarily. Weight management is influenced by the many factors, not just the quantity of the food. We need to look at the complete life cycle. For example, imagine someone who wakes up late, skips breakfast, sits for 8 or 10 hours, uh, eats very late, snacks while working, sleeps 5 or 6 hours, hardly moves during a day. So they may not feel like they are eating a huge amount, but their overall lifestyle may not be supporting very healthy weight management. Sleep, physical activity, meal quality, meal timing, stress, and individual factors can play a very important role. So rather than asking only how much I am eating, we should ask how am I living?
Wow, that's really a powerful question. How am I living? Harvinder, now let's bring the emotional side. Because I think many of us have experienced this. You have a stressful day, suppose. You don't even feel physically hungry, but suddenly you find yourself looking for chocolates, chips, or something sweet. What's really happening there?
This is where emotional eating can come in. Sometimes we are not eating because our body is physically hungry. We are eating because we are more stressed, more bored, maybe loneliness, or anxious. Or sometimes we feel frustrated or emotionally exhausted. For example, suppose if you have, for example, if you have a dinner, you see something sweet in front of you, you eat it without thinking. So for a few minutes, you feel better. The food gave you comfort, and you just like this. But the original emotion is still there. And if this pattern repeats again and again, food can become our emotional coping mechanism, right? So we just simply feel when I come back from office after frustrated day and all that, when I just want to just eat some kind of sweet thing or maybe chocolate, I feel better, right? So this becomes coping mechanism.
Great. So sometimes the real question isn't why can't I control myself around food, but maybe the better question is why am I feeling when I reach for that food?
Yeah, exactly. And I want to make one thing very clear. This is not about blaming yourself. Because I have seen people start blaming, oh, I was unable to tolerate and it's not in my control. It's not. about blaming yourself. It's about becoming more curious about your behavior. Understand your behavior so that you can manage that well. So instead of saying, I have no control, ask yourself what happened just before I started eating, maybe what emotions I had. So that is where awareness begins.
And that's very important part of Mystic Holistic Wellness Diet or Control Yourself. We try to understand why the person is struggling in the first place. So here comes my next question for you guys. How does stress affect blood sugar and diabetes management? Now let's move to the diabetes part. When people hear the word diabetes, many immediately thinks, "Oh, I have to stop eating sugar." Of course, food is important, but is diabetes really only about sugar?
No, diabetic management is much broader than simply avoiding the sugar. Actually, food play a very important role, but we also need to look at the physical activity, sleep, body weight, stress, and meal patterns, medications which have been prescribed by the doctors, and overall lifestyle. For example, someone may improve their diet but still sleep 4 to 5 hours night and remain inactive physically. That's why we need to look the complete picture. The goal is not simply do not eat sugar. The goal is to create a lifestyle that supports better blood glucose management.
Really? So, someone could improve their diet but still struggle with blood sugar because other parts of their lifestyle aren't supporting them.
Yes, exactly.
That's something I think many people don't realize. Harvinder, where does stress fit into this?
Yeah. So when we are under stress, the body activates its body increase the amount of glucose available in the bloodstream. That's useful when we are actually facing immediate physical threat. But when stress becomes can make blood sugar management more difficult for few people. And there is another important connection. Stress can affect our behavior as well. When we are stressed, we may sleep less, we may move less, maybe we may crave comfort foods, and it may be possible that we may skip meals and even overeat later. So, stress can influence both our body and our behavior.
That's actually a very important point. Stress doesn't just stay in our head, it can really affect what we eat, how we sleep, whether we exercise, and all of these things actually influence our overall health. So, Avinash, let me ask you something our audience might be thinking. If someone has diabetes, what's one simple thing they can start doing today?
Start with one habit. For example, take a short walk after a meal, and if your health allows, improve your meal quality, follow your healthcare professional guides, or work on getting more consistent sleep. Don't try to change everything in one day.
I love that. So, one habit and not that 10 habits. So, I would like to ask, can stress affect our thyroid health? Because we hear many people say, "Oh, I have thyroid, so I'll have to live with this forever." Now, thyroid conditions can have different medical causes and they need proper medical evaluation. But stress and lifestyle affect how a person feels and manages their health. Harvinder?
Yeah. So, yes, absolutely, stress and emotional well being can influence how a person feels. But I would also clarify that stress should not be presented as the sole cause of thyroid disorder. Thyroid conditions can have different medical causes, and proper diagnosis, treatment is important. So, what I have seen, however, people dealing with thyroid problem may also be experiencing stress, maybe poor sleep, maybe emotional exhaustion, or difficulty maintaining healthy routine. Especially when someone is managing work, children, household responsibilities, and family needs, they constantly put themselves last. So, I am majorly talking about women. They say generally, I will take care of myself later. They keep others' care on priority. And that later sometimes never comes, right?
Yeah, I think many women are going to pause at that sentence because I'll take care of myself later. We say all that time, especially the women, they say this every time. But what does taking care of yourself actually look like? Is it only about going or eating healthy, or is there more to it?
There is much more to it. It can mean getting enough rest, enough sleep, creating healthy boundaries, expressing emotions even, asking for help, making time for yourself, and learning to manage stress. They can better manage that, but they don't think about this. Even entire household things, generally women try to do on their own. Don't even delegate to somebody else, or maybe does not take help from somebody else. So one thing which they should take care of, self-care is not selfish. If you are constantly running on empty, it's difficult to take care of everyone else. If you are proper taking care of yourself, then only you can take care of your family happily. If you are happy, then only you can keep your family happy. So we generally forget about all these things and just keep doing, just keep suppressing all the things, which impacts physical health.
And from the nutrition side, we also need to look at the balanced nutrition, adequate protein, appropriate nutrient, regular meals, physical activity, and sleep. And importantly, if someone has been prescribed some medicine, say thyroid medicine, then they should take exactly as they have been prescribed.
That's important because sometimes people hear the word holistic and think it means stopping medical treatment.
Exactly. Holistic wellness means looking at the whole person. It does not mean replacing the appropriate medical care.
Well, that's really an important distinction. So, audience, if you're managing thyroid diseases, don't just look at the tablet, look at the whole picture. It could be nutrition, sleep, movement, stress, and medical care. So, I really wanted to ask, is high blood pressure only a heart problem? So, now let's talk about the high blood pressures because many people take their medication and think, oh, my BP is under control, so I'm done. But is medication enough?
Medication is very important when prescribed by the doctors, but lifestyle also matters. Maintaining a healthy weight, being physically active, eating a balanced diet, managing sodium intake, sleeping well, avoiding tobacco and the limiting alcohol, where relevant can all support the cardiovascular health. And good thing is, you don't have to change everything over the night. Small, consistent change can add up.
So we don't really have to wake up tomorrow and suddenly become a fitness model.
Absolutely not.
That's a good news. So Harvinder, why or like what happens to the body when we are constantly angry, worried, or stressed?
Yeah, Srishti. So think about the time when you were extremely angry or anxious. So first of all, what happens? Your heart may start beating faster. Your breathing changes. Your muscles become tense, right? And that's the body's stress response. So occasional stress is normal. The concern is when a person feels stressed almost every day without enough recovery. That's why relaxation practices can be helpful. It's not that big kind of practices, half an hour or 45 minutes practice, that should be sufficient every day. Deep breathing, meditation, maybe prayer, gratitude exercise. So spending time in nature, that is very important. Taking a break from the phone, talking to someone whom you trust. And these don't replace your medical treatment, but they can be useful tools for managing stress and supporting overall well-being. If you follow these practices, your medical treatment also works beautifully, right?
I think that's an important message because we often think I'll relax when everything is finished, but the truth is everything may never be finished. So perhaps we need to schedule small movements of relaxations just like we schedule our meetings.
Yeah, exactly.
So, audience, let's make this interactive. Think about your day tomorrow. What's the one 10-minute health habit you can realistically add? Don't choose something impossible, choose something you can actually repeat. Or is it, I'm too busy to be healthy? This is probably one of the most common things we all say. I don't have time, I'm busy, whether it's work, family, or other family responsibilities. Life do gets busy. So I'm going to challenge you both here. I can already imagine someone watching this and saying, "This all sounds good, but genuinely I don't have time." What would you say to that person?
I completely understand because I hear this almost every day. And the good news is that you don't need to spend hours in the gym or cook complicated food to start taking care of yourself. You can start with small things. Say, take a 10 to 15 minutes walk after lunch or dinner. Keep healthy snacks like fruits or nuts with you. Drink enough water throughout the day. Choose homemade foods wherever possible. If your weekdays are busy, prepare a few meals in advance over the weekend. Remember, it's not about the being perfect, it's about being consistent.
Yeah, and I would also say don't forget to take care of your mind. We make time for meetings, deadlines, everyone else. But we rarely take even 5 minutes for ourselves. We keep it second priority, right? So take a few deep breaths, spend a few minutes in prayers or gratitude. Put your phone away for a while instead of endlessly scrolling. Try to sleep on time whenever you can. Just like your body needs rest, your mind needs it too. So when your minds feel refreshed, it's much easier to make healthy choices throughout the day.
Wow, I really love that. So, what makes the Mystic Holistic Wellness approach different? We have talked about food, stress, movement, sleep, and emotions. And I think something interesting is happening here because Avinash looks at physical health and Harvinder looks at the mental health, right? But these two things don't really operate separately. And this brings me to the Mystic Holistic Wellness. When someone comes to you, are they only coming because they want to lose weight? Or do you actually try to understand what's really happening in their life as a whole? So, Avinash, let's start with you.
Our approach begins with the first of all, understand the individual. There is no single diet or lifestyle plan that works exactly all people. We look at things like health goals, current eating patterns, daily routines, work schedule, physical activity, sleep, lifestyle, existing health concerns, food preferences, and challenge in the maintaining consistency. Based on this understanding, we work on the practical nutrition and the lifestyle approach. Uh, the goal is not put someone on the extreme restrictive line for a few weeks. The goal is to help them build healthier habits that can become part of the lifestyle.
Okay, got it. So, it's not simply, oh, here's your diet chart, follow this for 30 days.
Exactly.
Great. So, Harvinder, where do you come in?
So I just want to add here, I help people understand what may be happening emotionally and behaviorally, which they generally don't understand. But with therapies, they become more aware. Sometimes people know exactly what they should do. They know they should eat better, they should exercise, they should sleep properly, but they are still struggling to follow. So sometimes it's very tough for them to follow right routine, right things in their life, and they struggle hard. So we explore what is stopping them. What is their belief system? Is it stress? Or emotional eating is a problem? Or anxiety is a problem? Or maybe low motivation, negative thinking, sometimes poor self confidence, overthinking, maybe difficulty setting boundaries, or simply it's a pattern, unhealthy pattern coming from wrong. So once people become aware of these patterns, they can understand themselves better and begin developing healthier ways of responding. And we help to adopt that.
That's powerful. So, the question changes from why am I so weak to what is actually making it difficult for me?
Yes, exactly. And I think that is a much kinder question.
Okay, got it. So, Avinash, when you combine nutrition and lifestyle with this emotional understanding, what difference can that make?
Actually, it can help people look at the healthy more completely. Instead of focusing only weight or one number on the report, we look at the person's overall well-being.
Great. So the goal isn't just to change a number on the weighing scale, it's about helping someone build habits they can actually continue.
Exactly.
Great. So, Harvinder and Avinash, if you had to explain Mystic Holistic Wellness approach in very simpler way, what are the major areas you guys work on?
We look at five important areas. First of all, personalized nutrition, understanding the what your body actually needs, keeping in the mind your health concerns, lifestyle preferences, and daily routine. Second, the life modification, because health is not only about what we eat. We also look at your sleep, movement, daily habits, and routines, and help you make practical change that you can actually follow. Third is third is a yoga-based wellness at the movement, helping you bring the right kind of the movement and physical activity into your lifestyle according to your needs and the comforts. Fourth is the emotional healing. This is where we explore stress, emotional patterns, emotional eating, anxiety of the other psychological factors that may be influencing your health and the behavior. And the fifth is a mindset coaching, because knowing what to do is one thing, but staying consistent is another. We help people develop self awareness, build healthier habits, and create a more positive relationship with themselves and their health journey. So, rather than simply focusing on a symptoms or a number on the weighing scale, we try to understand the whole person, body, mind, emotions, and the lifestyle.
Yeah, and the important part is that these areas don't work in isolation. Your mind affects behavior, your behavior affects your lifestyle, and your lifestyle affects your physical health. And your physical health can also affect your emotions and mindset. So we try to understand the holistic picture, complete picture, and then accordingly we plan our sessions, which help person to transform their life completely.
Great. So, essentially, mind plus nutrition plus lifestyle plus movement plus emotional well being equals to holistic wellness.
Yes, exactly.
That's great. So I wanted to ask, like, who can benefit from this approach? Let's make this practical. Who should consider this kind of holistic approach?
Someone who wants support with areas such as the weight management, diabetes management, thyroid, fatty liver, digestive health issues, high blood pressure, arthritis, healthy aging, or lifestyle movements. But we do not just look at the person's daily habits and lifestyle.
And from emotional side, it's not only up to physical health. From the emotional side as well, people may benefit if they are dealing with stress everywhere, emotional eating, low motivation, low confidence, emotional overwhelm, or difficulty maintaining healthy habits. And sometimes it's unhealthy behavioral patterns. So important thing is that person does not have to wait until things become severe. They can take consultation and they can start working on their own health completely.
Wow, I guess that's great because I think there's another group we need to talk about. Suppose, what if I have tried everything before? Because people usually say, I have tried everything. They have tried diets, they have joined gym, they started walking, they tried intermediate fasting, they made New Year resolutions, and every time they started well, then they stopped. What would you say to them?
I would say that don't assume that you have failed. Maybe the approach was not sustainable for you. Maybe the plan was too restrictive. Maybe you were trying to change so many things at once. Maybe the plan did not fit your lifestyle. Health improvement should be realistic and sustainable.
And also sometimes there may be an emotional pattern underneath your behavior. Maybe you are eating when you are more stressed. Maybe you are using food for comfort. Maybe you lost motivation because of negative self talk. Maybe you feel, I have failed before, so probably I will fail again. So, this kind of fear is there. That belief itself can become a barrier. So instead of starting again with punishment, start again with full understanding so that you get success.
Understanding and not punishment. That's really great. So, I have a fun segment for you guys. It's a quick fire round. We have been serious for quite some time now, so let's make this a little fun. I'm going to say some common health statements that we hear all the time. You both tell me it's a myth or a fact. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, ready.
Great.
Okay, ready.
Skipping meals helps you lose weight.
Not necessarily. Regular balanced meals can be more sustainable than extreme restrictions.
I need to completely stop eating carbohydrates in order to lose weight.
No, the quality and the quantity and overall balance of the diet matter. Carbohydrates can be part of the healthy diet.
If I'm stressed, I should just control my mind.
It's not always that simple. So, stress management is a skill that can be learned and practiced.
Emotional eating means I have no willpower.
Absolutely not. Emotional eating can be learned coping pattern. Understanding the emotion behind it is an important first step.
I need to change everything at once to become healthy.
No, I would say start with small. Consistency is more important than perfection.
That's probably the best answer to end this round. So, the one final message for our audience, because we have covered so much today, and I would like to end this with one simple question for both of you. If someone remembers only one thing from today's episode, what would you like it to be? Avinash?
My message is don't wait for a health problem to start taking care of yourself. Good health is built through the small choices and the consistently. Eat nourishing food, move your body, sleep well, stay hydrated, follow your medical advice, and do not try to be perfect. Just become a little healthier than you were yesterday.
I like that. A little healthier than yesterday. Harvinder?
Yeah, my message is listen to your body and listen to your mind. If you are constantly tired, stressed, emotionally overwhelmed, or struggling with sleep, or maybe gaining weight or finding it difficult to maintain healthy habits, don't immediately blame yourself and don't push yourself. Just check what is my body trying to tell me. And remember that taking care of your mental health is also part of taking care of your physical health. You do not have to fix everything overnight. Start with awareness, then take one small step at one time and then another.
Wow, that's great. And I think that's really the heart of today's session. Because at Mystic Holistic Wellness, the focus is not simply on the weighing scale, it's not only about sugar levels, blood pressure, and it's not only about what's on your plate. We believe health is influenced by the way we eat, sleep, move, think, and feel. That's why the Mystic Holistic Wellness approach brings together personalized nutrition, lifestyle modifications, yoga based wellness, emotional healing, mindset coaching. The idea is really simple: understand the person, understand the problem, understand the pattern, then create a practical path forward. So, Harvinder and Avinash, thank you so much for joining us today. The biggest takeaway is simple: don't wait for your body to force you to slow down. Start taking care of yourself today. You don't have to change everything at once. Start small, eat one healthy meal, take a 10 minutes walk, sleep a little earlier, drink more water, and take 5 minutes to breathe and relax. And when you struggle, don't blame yourself. Sometimes the answer isn't just another diet or another routine. It's understanding the mind, emotions, habits, and your body together. So remember, you haven't failed. You may simply need a different, more holistic approach. And if you found today's episode really helpful, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because better health doesn't always begin with another diet. guide. Sometimes it begins with simply understanding yourself.
And from the mental and emotional side, remember your thoughts, emotions, and habits can influence the way you care for your body. So don't just ask, what should I eat? Also ask, what is my mind and body trying to tell me? And if you need any help, so don't hesitate, just call us so that we can help you out.
At Mystic Holistic Wellness, we believe in looking the person the whole, not just the symptoms.
Yeah, and we work on the physical, emotional, and lifestyle aspects together so that health becomes a sustainable way of living rather than another short term solution.
So start small, be consistent, and most importantly, do not give up on yourself.
Yeah, because your health is not just about adding years to your life, it's about adding more quality, more energy, and happiness to those years.
That's really amazing. Thank you so much, Avinash and Harvinder, for sharing your valuable insights. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching Healthy Mind, Healthy Body. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care of your mind, your body, and yourself.
Thank,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you.